1, 2, 3 Craftsman toolboxes that we are going to tour today. They are all from like the early or late 90s, I believe. And only one of them is the quiet glide style. All the others drawers are like that, which make that clicky clacky noise. Whereas this one makes more of a shh noise. This is kind of my overflow box situation. This isn't where I keep my sockets or most of my wrenches. This is my specialty tools area. And well, I love these things. This one has been right here. This one has at one point been my entire box. I had fit all my tools in it. Nowadays, well, I've outgrown that. And so I've had to add to them through the years. That one I think was $50. I think this one was 100, and I think that was about 150. And if I highlight a certain product throughout here, I will put the links down in the description so that you don't have to hunt the internet all day long trying to figure out what I did. Okay, the middle box, the black box. The quiet glide. Shh, 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 shh. This will go click, click. Okay, because the little things hit there, okay? It's basically just got little rubber bumpers right there. That's how they do that. That's all that is. And what do I use this one for? So the top on this one right now, this is kind of like a flex zone for me. It depends what project I'm on. This is my teardown right now and my organization for a lot of the fasteners to get that thing out. Right now, that's pretty much what lives up there. On the lid, we do have these 10-foot retractable test leads, which is really nice when you're doing electrical work under the hood or if you're doing it in a car. These are what I use to change the bits on my die grinder. These are some really old Ford wrenches that I inherited. I'll never get rid of those. This is a scraper, a brush, and a bottle opener. I've used that quite a few times. It's plastic on both ends. The top drawer on this one, like I said with one of the drawers over there that I cleared out, I actually cleared the space out of this one. So this one is open for business. I got to figure out what I'm going to put in there. I'm always getting new tools, so that'll be full soon. Tray 3. All right, I've got tray 1, tray 2, tray 3. These are kind of like junk drawers, but I use them quite a bit. Stuff that I use a lot. Little staplers. These, oh, do you guys remember these? Depending on what age you are, some people out there will remember these being sold in their schools. I used to spend my lunch money on those instead of lunch. We've got a stud finder. We've got random caps and things and plugs and stuff that I use. Let's see. I use a lot of this stuff when I'm like plugging up. Like that right there is a plug from this drawer. You know, kind of up here. Yep, we got plugs up there. That's where the yellow one came from. Stuff like that. Bearings and shift bushings. That's what I use these for. Those are actually shift bushings on this car. They fit right in there. They're a solid roller skate bushing instead of the rubber ones like that. These get old and wiggly, and what happens on the inside of the car is your stick shift
gets all wiggly in between the gears.
So if you put some solid ones in there, well, that helps. Power washer tips on there, carabiners and stuff like that, with tomato rack, whatever. All right, tray number 2. Let's see here. We've got some other random clips, smaller screwdrivers. Oh, just some other random. Let's see, there's an electrical outlet tester. We got some tweezers. We got some nail clips. I like nail clips in the garage because, man, if you get something stuck under your nail when you're working, that's probably about the only easy way to get it out. Just some Velcro. You could always use that to tie up some random things. Some more dental stuff. Weird. I actually use these picks for cars more than I do on my mouth. Tray 1. Okay, we've got some detailing brushes for the inside of a car. I've got most of my key-related things for toolboxes and such in here. All right, and then this is pretty cool if you're cutting like sheets of things. Sheets of vinyl. That's a blade in there, and you just slide this like that, and it cuts vinyl a lot easier. Some battery terminal cleaner, you know, some random keys and stuff in there. All right, this one says 6G72, which that's the code for that engine right there. And that means, well, it's probably related to that car. I've got some cam cover type stuff. I've got throttle body gaskets that I know I'm going to need very soon. I've got the lifter install and removal tool specifically for that car. This is a clutch alignment tool. I don't think to that car, but it's in here. I think that's actually to a DSM. That might fit still. I don't know if it fits that car. I'll find out soon. And then this is a computer for reading the codes off of that car. This one says oil change, which makes me think, well, what do you know? It's the oil filter, wrenches, and all that such. Some more battery cleaners. This is my tire pressure gauge. Let's see. This is Tecton's. I'll do a highlight here. These are probably my 2 most used oil filter wrenches. This is a big one from OEM Tools, and this is a slightly medium big one from Tecton. This one's got a huge mouth to bite the really big ones, and this one's got kind of a smaller mouth for the smaller ones. I like both of those. Another really cool product I've got in this drawer right here is the magnetic drain plug tool. So when you loosen your drain plug a little bit and you don't want to get that juice all over you, you get this thing on it like that, and then you just turn the plug like that with the magnetic power. Hard to demonstrate without a plug, but hey, I think you get the idea. Whoa, what's in the hammers drawer? I bet it's hammers, 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 and a hatchet. This one's just a mixture of all the extra hammers that I don't use very often. This is kind of where they stay. I didn't have a great place for them, but this organizes them pretty easy if I gotta grab them. Another specialty drawer, which is almost like a whole bunch of stuff that I don't use very often, but I need a spot for it. It doesn't really fit anywhere else. I've got brake drum tools. I've got this weird clamp from Bessie. I've got, let's see, a pipe expander, a nut breaker. I've got a couple more things I use for plugs. I've got hole saw kit. I've got the heavy-duty stapler. I think there's some type of seal puller. Oh, it's for siding. Okay, this is for siding on a house. This is a, was this a hone? Yes. Let's see. We've got a really crazy looking, I got one of these. I've never used it. This came in a box that I bought, but hey, if I ever need to use it, I could. I've got a distributor wrench set that I've never opened. I do have another one that I have opened somewhere. This is for the sink in the house. It's the wrench that came with it. This is for sinks in houses that don't come with wrenches. Those are really handy to have around. If you're ever doing any type of work underneath a sink, get yourself one of those. Don't fight it. Just go buy one of those. I think this is like a paintbrush, paint removal tool, I think. Let's see. This one came in the toolbox that I bought one time as well. It's a pretty specialty looking thing. This is a ball joint or tie rod separator from Gear Wrench. I used this just the other day to do it on the car that I've been showing you. It worked pretty darn well. Down one more pry bars. This is kind of pry bars and clamps and things too long or big to fit in other drawers. I really, for the most part out of here, I use these the most. These have come in handy so many times. They're extra long, they're quick grip, and they live in here because they're big. These I use semi-often. They live in here because they're related to those. The rest of the stuff, these long screwdrivers, they live in here because if I ever need to beat on a long screwdriver, that's where I'm going to grab it from. Diagnostics. Oh my goodness, this drawer is full of stuff. Vacuum test stuff. Let's see. This is like a, I don't know what it is. This here's a clamp meter from Klein. Let's see if I can get this open for you. That's CL600. This can be quite helpful if you're tracking down any electrical issues. And let's see, I've got fuel pressure gauges in there. I've got compression gauges in there. I've got some cheap OBD2s in there. This one's actually pretty darn helpful for the price point. This is a pretty good one. Let's see, I've got... oh, that's another Mac. This is a Matco compression tester. I'm not even going to get into what's in the bottom thing. I think that that thing's full of random crazy stuff. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it because you got to see what's in my toolbox, right? This is my diagnostics deep in the drawer box. You know what I'm saying? This is a timing light that I've got right here. Works great. This is an antifreeze tester. This checks the freeze point of the liquid you've got running through the cooling system in your car. If you're off on that and you live in a state where it freezes, man, you're going to be in trouble. Remote starter switch. Haven't had to use that yet, but picked it up for when I do need to use it. Let's see. This is actually a really good OBD2 interface. I've used this quite a few times. A couple of cool on-screen things that you can use on your phone. You can actually set it up to look more like gauges than you can like a diagnostics tool. This is an old, what do they call these, like a pulse meter? I was trying to trace down a cracked wire in a wiring loom, and this is what I picked up to use to try to track that down. Did I ever fix the wiring? Well, I just kind of replaced all the wires instead. If you've ever used one of these, you know how to do it. I barely remember how to do it, but they're pretty cool to have when you're tracking down an electrical break and some wiring. That can do it for you, and you do it by tone, so you're listening for the break. Down in here, we've got... This here's to let you know if you've got water in your gasoline, because sometimes cars will run funky and you don't know why, and it's just because you've got bad gas in it. You need something like this. Take care of that bad gas with Gasiola. This here's a brake fluid tester, pretty self-explanatory. I haven't opened this one yet because my other one hasn't broken, but I got this one on such a good sale that I decided I had to have it. This one here is a camera, a cheap Amazon camera that actually works really well. I used this to go inside of the oil pan through the drain plug one time to see if there was sludge, and what do you know, there was, so it saved me a whole bunch of time chasing down other ideas. That just hooks up right to your phone, does like Bluetooth straight to your phone. That one's really cool. Like I said, I'll do some links down in the description. This one's definitely making that link list. Old school Sears vacuum pump to test vacuum. I've got spark testers in there. I've got siphon pumps in there. I'll show you the vacuum tester real quick. This is a pretty good buy for the price. What do we got back here? We've got the, who knows? Oh, I do know. This is the Noid light. This is for testing fuel injectors. So, let me get that one open right there. OEM's 8-piece Noid light set. Craftsman Toolbox number 2 tour, the Quiet Glide. If you haven't seen the other ones, I've got a number 1 and a number 3 Toolbox tour videos. Check them out, they're on my channel. Made it super easy, just click those.